What's up, YouTube? This is GroudonEmpire, and I am back for another episode of Route Global 1000, episode 33. Last episode, we faced a team of a player who was 1879, and it turned out. Now, if you didn't watch the last episode, whatever I'm going to say right now is basically explaining something that my opponent did. If it makes no sense to you, again, watch that episode and you'll know. You don't have to watch the entire thing, just watch the game or at least their team and you'll realize what I'm saying, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that opponent, they had the Pincer Lantern duo, but they didn't bring the Lantern, even though I had a Zapdos. They brought Umbreon instead. They probably predicted me to bring Reuniclus because I saw that, but I didn't bite. And I actually brought Azumarill and Zapdos instead. And, well, that's something I forgot to mention in yesterday's not yesterday, but whatever, the last episode. And I basically had to mention that that's part of the game that you have to play at the team selection. You know, if you make a bold prediction like that, usually you'll end up doing well. But my opponent was playing another opponent like myself, and I'm also a high level player, so I am not gonna fall for bait that's that simple. That's that obvious. And also at the same time, not going to do something that risky. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. That's why I brought the Azumarill, because I thought maybe if he has a Lantern, I'm going to lose. You know, there's nothing I can do. Reuniclus, yeah, but he might have Umbreon, and then that's why I did what I did. So I could have lost. Really, it would have went anywhere, but it's between those two Pokemon. Anyway, enough of that. Now let's go into this. My opponent that I found in this had the points of 1823, and the points that I had going into this game is actually 1770 something. So I don't know exactly what, but it was 1770 something, and that means it was actually after that last game that I had on the replay whatever last episode. And I actually lost a game in between probably, and then I recorded this, whatever. That's probably what happened. That's what I think, because my points are lower, right? And yeah, so our opponent, we have 2 minutes to select our team. Our opponent has this team. We see a Rotom Heat, we see a Garchomp. Right away, I know I want my Garchomp lead, because I want the Sash to break, and I want, well, Rotom Heat gets good damage, so that's great, that's wonderful, right? Now, looking at this team, that does not look like a Rotom Heat that's going to set up screens. However, I don't know, it might. I don't know anything anymore. I really don't. But I'm going to start off with the Garchomp, and I'm going to look at what Blaziken does. Blaziken takes down the Aegislash without the stupid Mind Games shenanigans. It takes down Sylveon after Stealth Rock. After some prior damage, the Garchomp is gone. Kangaskhan is also dealt with, so that's awesome, right? That's awesome. Stealth Rock rules down that Rotom Heat. So I'm bringing the Blaziken. Now let's look at the rest of the team. So Rotom Heat is trouble, and the Cresselia, of course, is trouble incarnate. So I will bring the Reuniclus because I can take down the Cresselia, and it's going to be an awesome time. And I do see the Aegislash, but at +1 special defense, I can survive a Shadow Ball. And I'm so slow, I'll go second. So really, Calm Mind is all about me setting up, and then when Aegislash tries to come in and attack me, I can survive a Shadow Ball and I can KO it because I'm slower. Offensively, I can KO the Aegislash in Blade form even without getting to +1. But I need +1 defense from the Calm Mind, the special defense, so I can survive the Shadow Ball from the Aegislash. And of course, I can 1v1 the Cresselia. I don't know if I did it on the channel yet, but I mean, if you guys haven't seen that, well, yeah, I mean, I know that. I know that's what Reuniclus does, so I'm telling you. I think this was all within 2 minutes. I'm not sure. Really hope it was. Should have been, because it's really simple. This is a team that Reuniclus doesn't need to fear too many things, so I can bring Reuniclus, and yeah. So I will start this game in a bit. You'll see the team that I ended up bringing. I did bring not Groudon. I keep on seeing the Garchomp. Whenever I see the team that I actually... Whenever I see the team that I actually brought when I remove the team from this thing, I see my name. So that's why I say Groudon. But I mean to say Garchomp. So I brought the Garchomp, the Reuniclus, and the Blaziken, and I'll just press play. Alright, so let's go. We are playing an opponent at 1823. We are going in at 1770. And I really do apologize for these super long introductions. I really do. I'm just more comfortable talking. I talk a lot. Me doing YouTube videos is basically me talking about Pokemon, competitive Pokemon, because I love talking about Pokemon. Now, first turn I go for the Stealth Rock, because whatever might happen, I just want to go for the Stealth Rock, because it's not like I can do any significant damage to this thing. And I decide to save the Garchomp, because, hey, a few episodes ago, we saw Rough Skin came in handy. So I go directly into this Reuniclus, and my opponent just Moonlights. Now, whatever my opponent does, I'll just go for Calm Mind, because Calm Mind is the safest thing for me to do. And, my opponent went to the Aegis Slash, while I just went for my Calm Mind. And this is a perfect situation for me because I can survive a Shadow Ball. As long as it's not a Shadow Claw, it is a Shadow Ball. I can survive that, and it's not a crit. I can KO with the Shadow Ball myself. So that will be awesome. I do run Psyshock and Shadow Ball. I don't run Focus Blast because Dark-type Pokemon, they're just... I'm not going to bring Reuniclus for that to begin with. That's not what Reuniclus wants to be in, so I'm not going to run Psychic or Shadow Ball plus Focus Blast. There's no Focus Blast. That's awesome. The Aegis Slash is gone, so that's awesome, even though I can definitely deal with it with using Blaziken. Now I just sack off this guy, the Reuniclus. No, I don't sack off Reuniclus. I don't sack off Reuniclus because I need Reuniclus for Cresselia, so I sack off the Garchomp this turn. And I'm not saying this in reaction to what I see. I'm saying this because I actually remembered. And my thought process in the game works that way too. So I think, oh, I'm just going to sack off Reuniclus. But no. I know Cresselia. I need the Reuniclus for Cresselia. I'm not that stupid. I understand these things. Now, right now, at this turn, I end up using a Swords Dance because I predict the switch into Cresselia. I don't know why it took me so long to say Swords Dance. But I do a Swords Dance because I predict a switch into the Cresselia. I'm not going to use the Flare Blitz because I predicted switch into Cresselia. So I'm not going to use Flare Blitz. I'm not going to go for Protect because I don't need the speed. So either Swords Dance or Flare Blitz. I'm not going to die to a Hyper Voice either. Or at least I think I'm not going to die, right? But Cresselia switch is very darn obvious. And at +2, I have a good chance of actually, like, annihilating this thing. Yeah, I was just joking. I don't. But I go for the Swords Dance again, as you will end up seeing. Because I might get Thunder Waved. Sure, you know, I might get Thunder Waved. But the fact that my opponent did not reveal the Thunder Wave yet, that's why I went for a Protect earlier. You know, I went for a Protect after the Swords Dance when my opponent was Moonlighting. Because I wanted to see if they have Protect. If they don't have Protect, then, I mean, if they don't have Thunder Wave, I win the game. I don't need to switch into Reuniclus. I can just whatever. And my opponent, instead of using Psychic, decided to use Moonlight to get my Flare Blitz recoil and Rocky Helmet, which is a bad move on my opponent's part. So not only do they not have the Thunder Wave, but they did not go for the Psychic. So it's a win-win for us. Sorry I did not commentate properly earlier. I am not nearly as tense because the season is over. That's why I'm not as tense anymore. That's why my commentary is not on par. I apologize, but trust me, when I do the live games that I do in the season finale and the 2 episodes before that, you will see the intensity and the proper commentary with proper attention to detail because it's live and the intensity is there. It's the final couple days of recording of the season. But yeah, regarding the Blaziken, if I saw it correctly, or if I remember it correctly, the turn after using Swords Dance, when the Cresselia came in, I used Protect to scout for a Thunder Wave. And if there was going to be a Thunder Wave, I would have switched out into the Reuniclus. And if there was not, I was just going to use another Swords Dance to Flare Blitz, and that's what I ended up doing. You can go back, and if I did not do that, and my commentary was crap for this, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure that everything I said correlates with everything you saw in this episode, and I hope you guys learned from it. And I hope you guys really appreciated the mind games that were being played with the Cresselia and the Sylveon because like that's what this game is all about. You know, that's what Pokemon's all about. You have to just skillfully play around it. Sure, Blaziken can devour Aegis Slash and the Sylveon, but the Cresselia can devour Blaziken. But I devoured Cresselia instead in this game because I played around it skillfully, and my opponent just messed up, and I took advantage of their misplays. And it wasn't necessarily misplays, but it was just me just playing better. You know, just me outplaying my opponent. So that was great. That was awesome. If you like this video, click that like button. And if you are interested or excited for the season finale, what do I end the season with? Do I end up with the 1900 plus? Do I end up with 2000? Or do I end up at 1800 or 1700 or some crap like that? Or do I even use the same team for the finale? So we don't know anything. And forget about that. If I am in high ladder, what kind of opponents am I facing? So if you're excited for that, then subscribe. This is GroudonEmpire. Peace out.